Hey everyone, come on in, sit down, get comfortable, but don't get in the water, don't go for a swim, just stay away from it. Today we're talking about Alligator 2, The Mutation. Told you I'd cover it. This movie's in 1991. It's 11 years after the first movie, and it has nothing to do with the first one. It doesn't. Forget about the whole thing of another alligator coming down into the sewer. This one doesn't have anything to do with the first one. Doesn't even acknowledge the first movie. The only thing they have in common is a giant alligator. Yeah, I know, right? Well, anyway, this movie takes place, opens up with a bunch of people dumping chemicals down into the sewer, and we get introduced to our big bad villain, Mr. Vinnie Brown, who is just a giant douchebag. You may recognize him if you've ever seen The Mask, because he's the same douchey guy from that puts on the mask and becomes an evil version. Same guy, just playing another evil bad guy. But him and his company are dumping chemicals into the sewer, and the guys end up having a little conversation about what the hell they're doing.
This is weird. Experimental chemicals, poison?
We got paid. We do a job. You got question? Ask Vinny.
Yeah, and that's Vinny, just being evil. Just can tell right off the get-go he's not a good man. But we go from that to a couple people that are spearfishing down, like hand spearfishing. I thought they were frogging. For whatever reason in my mind, I thought they were frog hunting, but they're actually fishing, like spearfishing, but they're using like a frogging spear kind of thing. Hey, whatever floats your boat. But they get attacked by the gator. And, obviously, both people end up dying. But then we cut to our new main character, Detective Hodges, who's awaking to a birthday surprise, a cake and a video from his wife and son.
Dad, I'm really proud of you. Quit smoking on your birthday. Mom quit 4 years ago.
That's right.
So you gotta do it.
Dave.
Gotta love it when your kids call you out on your shit, am I right? But he does keep to that promise and does not smoke anymore. Also, you won't see his son the rest of the movie. This is the only time the son's in there. I don't know if it was like the child actor wasn't available. I couldn't tell you, but like that's the only time he's talked about, referenced, or seen. So he's there but not there. Regardless, I enjoyed this. This is a pretty good sequel. So we continue on. And the severed foot from the people who were killed before end up getting found. They don't really know what to make of it. But then we jump over to our evil corpo, Vinny, who's talking to his board of people at his company about how they're going to revamp the city and that their scheme about dumping the chemicals worked and they saved all this money and they've convinced all these people to invest in a new big city. Just what a bunch of douchebags. And then we jump over, and it's the daughter and the wife of the two fishers who were missing. And they speak Spanish, and the cop behind the counter doesn't, so it gets a little bit of a quarrel. But Hodges, much like Madison from the first movie, is a great cop. He's just a genuinely great dude. I love the way that they made the two main lead detectives for these movies, because they're both just great guys.
Big on compassion this morning, aren't you, Jansen?
You're not the only cop working North End, Hodges. Besides, no one told you to stick your nose in it. El Pollo Loco.
That's El Solo Lobo. And by the way, she wasn't questioning your authority. She was questioning your intelligence.
Don't you love that? Like, it just translates it for him and, like, just gives him a sick burn. It's fucking great. But Hodges looks into the report and finds the missing foot. And he's like, oh, well, I'll go check that out because they were out fishing, so maybe it has something to do with them. And, of course, once he gets there, they get the crime scene photos, and it's not pretty at all. And they know that there's just a big animal, but they're not sure what kind of big animal. And turns out Mrs. Hodges works down at the university, and she's a scientist, so she's able to break down. They find some chemicals, and she's telling them, like, well, we're going to have to test the water because I'm not entirely sure what any of it is. And while he's on the phone, she brings up, hey, make sure you're at home on time because it's your birthday and I got a special treat for you. We all know what that means. Am I right, fellas? Am I right? Yeah, we all know what they're talking about here. But the forensic guy does end up pointing out, hey, you know, the sewer system runs all over the place, so if there is a gator or something, it could be using that and, like, getting into the lake that way. But, you know, he ends up not getting home on time, and we get this, I love this little fun scene of how your spouse reacts.
Left it in the pan.
Actually, this is perfect. I love it like this.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very chewy.
Nothing I love more than burnt to fuck meat. Thanks, hun. But he ends up rushing off because he realized after they start talking, like, yeah, the photos are definitely some kind of giant animal. I would guess probably a gator or something. That's the only thing that would make sense being in a lake. At least she's smart. So Hodges runs off. He starts talking to his captain, which, much like the last movie and any movie like this, turns into, well, there's a giant lake party. We can't be shutting that down.
David, this party could be the most important thing to happen to this city since I know how you feel about Vincent Brown, but he and the mayor, they're about to put this city on the map. That's the big picture.
I'm sorry, Clarence, but I'm not smart enough to grasp the big picture right now. I can't get by the small pictures, like this one and this one. How about this one?
All right.
Gotta love that that's always like the go-to, right? There's always something where it's like, well, you know how much it means to the city. Like, come on, man. You're supposed to have, like, the best of everyone's intentions in mind. Like, God damn it. But he does give him 12 hours to figure out what's going on with this gator. And then we jump to Hodges. He ends up going to a wrestling event that's going on because he knows Vinny's sponsoring the whole thing. And he's going to talk to the mayor about, hey, we got to shut this shit down. It's not safe for anyone to be on that lake tomorrow night. But, of course, that doesn't work. Vinny comes in and is all like, my money and my party. We're not canceling.
It's not as simple as that. Brown's big weekend at the lake's gonna have to be canceled.
There will be no cancellations.
Gotta love it, right? Like, this guy just has the mayor under his thumb. He's a total fucking scumbag. So then he ends up strong-arming the mayor into, like, hey, you gotta shut this guy down, because if he fucks this up, it's your ass on the line just as much as mine. And he tells his right-hand man to hire some hunters and get him down there ASAP. The rookie, Harmon, who is also going to be a main character here, gets told to take Hodges away, but Hodges figures out a clever little way to get free.
You, sure you want to share this intimate moment with me?
No.
Because you've got a very appealing smile.
Take the keys.
Thank you. Now that was refreshing.
Hodges, don't leave me here.
Sorry, pal, but I need a running head start. Here are the keys, but I wouldn't reach for them. Those toilets flush like vacuum cleaners.
Hodges, I'm gonna get you for this.
Oh, damn.
Rookies, you never listen.
And he heads off. He's going to go try to figure out this whole gator thing. And we're also introduced to the mayor's daughter, Sherry, who ridicules him for being around a bunch of slime balls. Like, literally calls them slimy fucking evil men. But she ends up going out and she's like, well, if you're going to be here, I'm going to be here. And she meets up with Vinny. And Vinny's, he has no fucking shame.
He's terrific. Unfortunately, tonight he loses.
Sounds fixed.
It is.
No shame. Like, yeah, it's fixed, you dumb bitch. Like, what do you expect? Like, no fucking shame on this man. And then he also ends up making a line about that he rigged the fight so that he can get people's admirations because it's a hated wrestler, blah, blah, blah. You know, and that doesn't really... It's just evil being... Like, this dude's so slimy and evil. He's great as, like, just a villain that you're just gonna fucking hate the entire goddamn movie. And then we cut to some vagrants who are down in the sewer, and they end up getting attacked by the giant gator, and then cut back to Sherry arguing with Vinny, because Vinny goes, you're just a child. Stick with me and I'll make you a woman. And she rightfully punches that man right in the fucking jaw. Like, god damn, good for you, girl. Rookie Harmon, he ends up calling out for help from the bathroom because of where Hodges left him. I fucking love Hodges and Harmon. Like, I love their duo here. And they end up getting a picture, which doesn't help their case for what the mayor is going to end up doing. But Hodges is at the lake. He's checking for any signs about things with the gator. We meet a local gang. And they start talking about, hey, you know, Vinny's pushing all the families out and all the fish are dying. Like, clearly something's going on with this guy's company. And then the mayor ends up pulling strings to get Harmon and Hodges suspended. But we do get this great one-liner from the chief of police.
His shield is pulled pending a psychiatric. I got 2 men ready to pick him up right now. Harmon's is pulled pending a competency exam.
Does your mother know you're still up?
Like I said, this movie's not like the best sequel ever, but like, man, there's so many good one-liners in this with just dumb little shit like that. I fucking love it. And then we're back to Hodges talking with the gang leader, again, talking about the chemicals in the water and this and that. And Hodges, as he's driving home, he hears the call about the vagrants, and we get an example of why I say Hodges is just an amazing person. Not just a great cop, but he's a great guy.
How much bigger than Big Henry?
It was using Otis for a toothpick. Otis was my friend, David. He didn't deserve to be a toothpick.
Otis was a good guy, wasn't he, Henry? We know where good guys go, don't we?
And then the mayor speaks about the chief, speaks with the chief about, hey, you're going to pull Hodges' badge and Harmon's badge, because fuck both of them, basically. But then as he's pulling in the rookie Harmon, he gets a call from Hodges, and he's talking about, hey, you're never going to believe what just happened. He gives him the example, and he's like, all right, well, what do you need to take care of this fucking thing? And hey, just so you're aware, they're pulling in a bunch of hunters. But as Harmon's leaving the station, we get some more of Harmon and Hodges flirting, like they ended up doing when he was locked up in the bathroom and she found him. And they go out for some drinks. Harmon ends up coming back to his place, finding that Hodges has already broken in, and he's like, yeah, we're not suspended. We're actually going to go hunt down this gator, and we got to be quick about it. And then Hodges ends up picking up his wife, and she tells him about, hey, there's the chemical thing, like, Benny's company was doing a lot of shit with, like, adrenaline and whatnot. If this is what the gator is, then this thing isn't an animal anymore. This thing needs to get gone. Like, it's a super big danger. Then we cut over to the hired hunter showing up. Hawk Hawkins, literally his name. You're going to hate him in the beginning, but he ends up being a great asset in a trio that we get later in the movie.
Hawkins, call me a hawk. I thought this was hush-hush. We're working for you?
That's right.
You're working for me. Vincent Brown? Thought you said 10 or 12. Where are the rest?
10 or 12 to wrestle a gator? We'd have been hee-hawed here to Cuba where we got out with brung an army.
And his brother's played by Kane Hodder. He's not in the movie very long at all, but it's just neat seeing Kane Hodder in like a throwaway role. But then we cut to Hodges and Harmon traversing through the sewer. They're trying to figure out where the gator is. And it turns out the gator is following them, and they try to make a break for an escape. And as they do, they try to blow it up with some dynamite. And we get this great... This is what I mean by just great banter between these two.
Can't lift through 2 sticks of dynamite? You don't think you can lift through 2 sticks of dynamite, do you?
No, you can't lift through 2 sticks of dynamite. Okay?
Nah.
But then they escape. They realize the gator is extremely mutated, and where Hodges learns that the hunters are already down in the sewer. And, yeah, it doesn't work great for them. They all kind of die because they find a giant nest. And the only one who ends up surviving is Hawk and one other hunter. And we get, like, Hawk, it just gets a desperate save from Hodges here. And Hawk ends up joining the team, and he's all like, you can't leave me out of this. He killed all my men. I'm going to help you kill it. And Hodges ends up calling out Vinny's whole thing about dumping the chemicals, and like, it's his fault this is happening. And Vinny just gives him a, you're going to have to prove it. Like a total fucking dickbag. And then, as the mayor and Vinny are leaving, they ram the fucking chief off the road and fucking kill him, because evil's gotta be evil. Can't be having him call for backup and help and whatnot, which doesn't sit right with the mayor. That's something that'll come back later. And then we cut over to, now there's just a big-ass lake party, and everyone's there. But that's exactly where the gator's gonna go, because they disturbed his nest. And Vinny ends up coming up to the DJ and makes, like, the fucking dumbest bribe, because he's like, I need more people here for my investors.
What am I paying you for? I want people down here.
I'm doing my best.
Do better. My investors are closing right now, this weekend. Get on the radio. Tell them I'm paying cash in a barrelhead. Now.
Total fucking scumbag. Just, god damn it, I hate this man so much. They do great at making you fucking hate Vinny a lot. Hawk, Hodges, and Harmon, they all make a TNT bomb, and they're like, we're gonna kill this gator this way. And Vinny ends up encountering the gang from before. And they're all like, yeah, what are you going to do about it, man? We're going to give you problems. But the mayor and Vinny step aside for a private chat about the investors. And then it cuts back to our little trio of Hawk, Harmon, and Hodges with their little TNT bomb. But it fails because the gator just fucking eats it.
Damn, that gator'll eat anything. It's a walking bomb, David.
No wonder it didn't blow. He must have chewed up the detonator. Look, we've got no choice. We've got to keep it from the lake. We'll stop it.
See, what I tell you, like, the lines in this movie, there are just so many things that will make you laugh, because it's just, I fucking love it. I love these three when they're on screen. And Hawk points out that the gator's real soft on the bottom of him, because his wife has made a lethal injection, but they have to get real close for it. And they realize they're going to have to do something, because he ate the TNT, so he's just a walking fucking bomb now. So that, that's real fucking great. And we cut back to an even bigger party going on at the lake. There's even more goddamn people at the lake now. Just so many people at the lake. And we cut to Vinny and the mayor having a discussion. And evil gotta evil.
Seeing was people's homes and children playing.
What you were seeing is the beginning of an empire. And I'm the king.
You're gonna be punished. Punished for what you did to Clarence. And I'm going to see to it personally.
Sorry, Mayor.
Go ahead. We both deserve it.
Yeah, also, how did no one hear that gunshot? Like, I get there's a lot of noise going on being a party, but, like, how did no one fucking hear that? But Hawk and Hodges on the trail of the gator realize it's already at the lake, so they gotta be real fucking quick. And the gator crashes the party, y'all. Yeah, gotta love it. Just like the first movie, crashing the evil Corpo party. They do it again in this one, crashing Vinny's giant lake party. But Vinny don't give a fuck, because Vinny's got all his paperwork, so he just says, fuck it, I'm out of here. He shoves his right-hand man, and he's like, kill that thing. But of course, right-hand man gets eaten. But Vinny doesn't get very far, because he gets stopped by Hodges and that gang again, and they're like, you're not going anywhere. Like, you fucked up big time. But in his arrogance, Vinny dies.
Your meat. You're finished. You're finished, Vinny!
I didn't get paid.
Also, I love the one-liner. I added it in here because I love Hawk. Like, I love Hawk's one-liner in there. I didn't get paid yet. It's just little shit like that makes me enjoy this movie. But Hodges and the group, they head off out on the lake. They're going to try to kill this thing, but the gator destroys their boat. They get stranded, but don't worry, because the police got the chopper out, and they're going to rescue everybody up. But unfortunately, Hawk doesn't make it, but he gives that fucking gator a hell of a shanking. just fucking going to town on him with his Bowie knife. And like, good for you, man. At least you died giving it a hell of a fight. But Hodges dives under. He gets the lethal injector, gives it a big old stab on the underbelly, but it doesn't seem to work. So Hodges just pulls out 2 fucking bazookas and goes, fuck it. I guess we're just gonna fucking blow the goddamn thing up.
He is a son of a bitch.
You got that right.
Now what in the hell are we gonna do?
We try this.
Huh?
You ever fire one of these things?
No. You?
Never.
So how hard can it be? You aim and you pull the trigger.
Right. Just have to figure out which end to point.
So they track it back down. They figure it's going back to its den now that it's filled up and it's, it realizes it's been irritated. Where they go. And Harmon fucks up and misses his shot, but Hodges sure as hell don't. And we get a satisfying another goddamn gator explosion.
Miss Hodges will be dead.
Come on, baby. Come to daddy. Come to daddy. Come on.
Yeah, bye-bye, gator. Another gator gets exploded. And then, they leave the sewer. There's a big, huge chant for, saving the day. They tear down the banner. Everyone's happy. Everyone's safe. And that's Gator 2, The Mutation. Tune in next time where we're going to cover one about a different kind of animal and another movie that fucked me up a bit as a kid. Yeah, made me afraid of a different kind of animal for a good reason. But remember, everyone, don't gene splice, don't bring animals back from the dead, stay out of the water, and don't dump your fucking chemicals. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? And the most important lesson of all is that evil never wins, unless we're in the real world and they seem to. But anyway, stay odd, stay happy. I'll catch you on the next one.